What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Wow, I still love that opening, man. Thank you, Keck Productions, for that. We love you, brother. I got to thank a lot of people here right now. Cram, YT, thank you. Paul Bunyan, thank you. KX2, thank you. G Brothers, thank you. And Real Iron Eagle, God bless you, man. Thank you. And fight, 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 and fight we will, and fight we do, apparently. All day, every day, right here on the MG Show. Welcome, Shady. How was that Ryder's Cup?
Boy, oh boy, when I shot out of a cannon. Number one, I have to come out and I have to say that I was wrong about the Americans beating the Europeans. I was very confident that we were going to be able to beat the Europeans this weekend, Jeff, but let me tell you something. Those guys played with some serious heart, and our boys played hard yesterday, and they gave it the old 1-2. But Europe pulled it out over the weekend, and it was very fun to watch the American spirit there in New York on display for all of us this weekend.
And, you know, your president, Donald J. Trump, look at this. So this is Europe after winning. Yes, I'm watching. Congratulations. Check this out.
Are you watching? Are you watching? Are you watching God? Are you watching Donald Trump? Are you watching Donald Trump?
So you know what? I'm actually proud of them for trolling the troller-in-chief. And he said, yes, I'm watching. Congratulations. And they do deserve it. They do deserve congratulations. That I actually watched it too, Shady. It was pretty crazy. Wow.
Yeah, so now they had their little fun and they put out that video, but they're not thinking, Jeff, that Donald Trump is still going to be the president in 2026 or 2027 whenever there's another Ryder Cup.
Ooh.
Yeah, so whenever we go to Europe and we kick their little butts over there in Europe next time, Donald Trump will be making a video to ask them if they're paying attention.
Are you watching Europe?
That'd be fun.
We're going to be watching. So that was fun, Shady Grove. That was a fun weekend. And my Bears won. They beat Las Vegas. Haha, Mikey. Gentleman's bet.
Oh, the Bears won. Way. The Bears won a game?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're now 2-1.
That is really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even want to look. So whenever I was young, I followed the Washington Redskins.
Oh, God. They're not even in existence. They're the Commanders or something.
I don't even get me started how screwed up my football reality is. It's the closest team to where I grew up. I'll start there.
Fair enough.
It didn't. It's not turned out too good in the adult world with those guys.
And the Oregon Ducks won. That's right, Simba. They're doing really good, by the way. Wow.
And by the way, speaking of the Oregon Ducks and the Charlie Kirk, the whole situation is kind of crazy. The amount of presence that Charlie Kirk's recent assassination has generated among the college age people out here in Oregon. It seems like that the current college age people aren't as triggered as the 10-year ago college age people. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Scotty Does Know wants me to say, go Bills on air, the Beefalo Bills.
All right.
All right, there you go. You got it. You got it.
It's early. It's Monday.
It's Monday. We're going to have some fun. By the way, we've got Panic in D.C., we've got Choke on it. Scott, I mean, we've got so much that President Trump posted this weekend. He is meeting with Israel this morning, Netanyahu, guys, which is pretty interesting. All the Israel people are going to go crazy on this one. This is Donald Trump meeting with Netanyahu. Check it out. Oh, yeah, we do it live.
Ready, face, forward, watch. I hope so. Mr. President, we have a new world. I'm confident, sir, that we can fix Gaza.
I am. I'm very confident.
21 points.
He's very confident to end this war. Netanyahu's there today. He did post on True Social that there looks like there was an agreement made, but we want the hostages back too, guys. So don't forget that and them.
Yeah, and too bad for everybody involved that Israel will not be getting the West Bank.
Yeah. Wow,
which is
guys.
exactly what everybody says is going to happen.
Wow. I see some naked chatters, Shady. I see some naked chatters. Oh, boy. I also want to wish a happy birthday to two people that have been with this show for quite a while. We got Lena Martin. Happy birthday, Lena.
Oh, happy birthday, Lena.
She's the one that made our wieners bump.
She is. It's such a perfect moment.
Yeah. She's the one that made the wieners for us to bump, I guess, is what I think she did, right? Didn't you make those, Lena?
Yeah,
and also...
If you say it like that, people are going to understand what we mean.
And also, Nicole Tarina, happy birthday to you. Another person that's been with this show for quite a while. And Rick Erb's wife as well. We're going to say happy birthday to his wife. We got a lot of birthdays today.
September 29th. God bless all of you guys.
Yeah.
This was a great day.
Yeah. Oh.
Are you tired?
No, I'm just looking at Seeping D Wound farting in our chat. It's kind of funny.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's pretty good. How many can they get before we get them out of here?
I don't know. Let me see.
Look at that. They're still going. They're doing great. Come on, you can do it. They got another. Come on, man.
Oh, they got another.
We still got some really good mods here. Look at this.
We got them.
Oh, wow.
There they go.
I'm going to say that was, in a bull ride, if you go 8 seconds, it's good.
Right, they did good.
Getting rid of the troll. I'm not sure if an 8 seconds is like qualifying or unqualifying.
DQ says, "Oh God, oh boy,
oh boy."
Yeah. Wow. All right, so we're gonna ignore that today because you know what? We didn't strike first, and we always ride the what is it called, Chitty? Ride the the high road. We're taking the high road on that one.
Here we go.
Because we're not taking any low road. Now, I want to play this because choke on it, guys. This is Scott Jennings. Donald Trump posted this. This is a must listen. And you can say choke on it to your friends that are still voting for communism. Check it out.
But the thing is, man, listen, dude. I mean, this is a big deal right now. And we laugh. We have a good time. And this is all amazing. And we love to win. We're all winning. You're winning right now in a big way. But there's a segment of the population that is really struggling. And we have to understand that. We have to recognize that there is 20 to 25% of the population that has they have been convinced that what they are seeing happen is an authoritarian, fascist government being implemented because what's happening is law and order is being restored, okay? An anarchist, let me just make this simple, an anarchist does not like law and order, guys. And what these people are that are calling themselves, the left or whatever it is, what they really are is that they're anarchists. That's what they actually are, and that's what they do with their time. They generate anarchy. Whenever you're law and order and you're coming up against anarchy, anarchy is going to think that you are fascist because you're trying to stop the anarchy. No, restoring law and order and having law and order is not fascism. But the left has convinced themselves, and the media has helped them and taught them this exactly. The media has convinced the left that law and order is fascism. And that's why you're seeing this tussle that we're seeing right now. And it is going to be a minute for these people before they realize they're probably going to be old and gray before they realize that they've been fooled.
Real quick, Patriot Cheryl, thank you. Welcome to the show. Also, 17 Patriots for Truth, 5 subscriptions to the MG Show. We're getting these people clothed. Thank you so much. And Miss Monster says, choke on it? LMAO. Well, Shady had to say, it was all, we're going to choke on it now. All right. This is the choke up on it build up. Here we go, Shady. You ready? Choke on it.
I am.
As for the reaction to all of this, the weeping and gnashing of teeth from the no one is above the law crowd could be heard around the world last night. If you've looked at any news sources today, you've heard the word unprecedented thrown around endlessly, which tells me that apparently nobody knows what the definition of that word actually is. But please, spare me the outrage over political prosecutions. For all of you who ever said, no one is above the law, or said that institutions of justice are sacred and cannot be questioned, or described Donald Trump as a 34 convicted felon, you know what I say? Choke on it. Just choke on it. Honestly, if you cheered political prosecutions of Donald Trump on cases that were clearly novel and made up just for him, just for politics, choke on it. If you are lamenting today, whoa, this was 5 years ago, and yet you cheered on the criminalization of a liaison Trump had in 2006, choke on it. If you're whining about the use of process to punish people, but you cheered the use of process to cripple Trump, the candidate, Trump, the president, and his people, choke on it. And if you're worried about revenge, let me ask you a simple question. Revenge for what? Exactly. Whatever do you mean? Please elaborate. Do tell what it looks like when the criminal justice systems are weaponized. Another word of the day, weaponized against political opponents. Listen to what a reporter on the South Lawn of the White House actually said to President Donald Trump today. Just listen to this.
President Trump, are you worried now that the next time there's a Democratic president, they will indict your FBI director or people in your administration?
That's what they tried to do, right? They did it with me for 4 years.
To be honest, that joke is funnier than any joke Jimmy Kimmel has told in the last 10 years. Now, Trump punted the question into the sun, as he should have. A good day for the rule of law. The rule of law endures. You know who said that? James Comey, the day that Trump was indicted. No whining about political prosecutions or weaponization or whatever. That's just what he said. Choke on it, is what I think. My view is very simple. Comey was indicted for lying by a grand jury through a normal process that produces indictments for a range of crimes across this country every single day. He'll go to court and he'll get a chance to defend himself. The case seems pretty simple. We don't need CSI Alexandria here to figure out the truth. He either lied or he didn't. And the simple evidence testimony will clearly back it up or it won't. But do not bemoan political prosecutions or whine about revenge or whatever today. Just don't. And for what it's worth, I don't hear a lot of people defending Comey on the substance of all this today. I hear fussing about all sorts of aspects of it, but is anyone out there actually defending him on the substance of the charges? I don't see much of that, which ought to tell you something. Everybody knows the DOJ, the FBI, and yes, dare I say, other elements of the deep state, leaked and still leaks like crazy against this president. You know that it happens. It was true when he started, and it is still true today. By the way, I'm not hearing enough Democrats thanking Donald Trump today. For what, you ask? I mean, is he not punishing the destructor of Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign? The dirty secret is if Hillary had won anyway, she would have fired Jim Comey on day one, and every person whining about this today would have been on TV cheering her on. Selective outrage, hypocrisy, shamelessness. You're getting it all today, America.
Choke on it. Okay? All you people that said the rule of law, nobody's above the law when they were going after Donald Trump, and now we got Donald Trump actually, and the DOJ going, and a grand jury saying that this guy lied, and they had to do it within the 5 years. Bigger charges coming, slam dunk charges coming. Choke on it, because it's happening, Shady. This is a great awakening.
That was so well stated. If he runs for office, he's got a chance.
Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, he really does have a chance, man. I mean, I really like the way that he can articulate. I like the way that he's very, he reminds me a little bit of like J.D. Vance, the way that J.D. can explain things very simply. But a couple of key points that he makes there, guys. Number one, did you ever really want your political opponent prosecuted before Donald Trump? Like, just go back in your own mind and think about, okay, yeah, we saw these people. They were in front of us every day. We knew Obama was corrupt. We knew these people were saying they had the most non-corrupt administration ever. You knew it was corrupt. But did you really sit there at the end of the Obama administration and say, okay, should we prosecute him? Like, not before the whole Trump started to run thing. This whole adventure that we've been in for the last 10 years has changed us for a very specific reason, guys. It's very important to understand what happened. Whenever they say Donald Trump is going to try to get revenge, does that not indicate that he has something that was done to him that was wrong? What does the word revenge insinuate? What does the word revenge say? The word revenge says that you already did something to me and that I'm going to do something to you because of what you did to me. So effectively they're admitting that they weaponized the political system against Donald Trump, and they're trying to warn him, oh, well, you need to protect your FBI director in the future.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, guys. And the other point I'd like to make right here is Jim Comey didn't go to a jury, Jeff. Jim Comey didn't go to a jury to take down Trump. He went to the FISA court. That's a secret court. This was an indictment handed down by an actual grand jury that was organized in the Eastern District of Virginia. In other words, this is 12 people in a grand jury, however many people, I'm not even 12, in the grand juries, looked at the evidence, and they said, is this against the law? Did he break the law in this instance, yes or no? That's all they had to do. If a number of them say yes, then the indictment is rolled out. Now we have to prosecute him. Just because he got indicted is not a conviction, everybody. This is America. He is innocent until proven guilty, and we will afford that to every single person, and we'll be talking about a couple of others here in just a minute.
That's right. And let me just, here's James Comey.
This is awesome.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I
just love that one.
So good, dude.
Yeah.
It reminds me of bongos with Kamala Harris.
That one.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us to another possible pesky Q-proof. And I'm going to just go over this really quick, Shady Groove, because there's two things that furthered the spy op Q-proof today, this weekend. Okay. This is from Catherine Harridge. Comey indictment arrangement, a criminal conspiracy. In this week's newsletter for C. Harridge, under subscribers, a close reading of the recently declassified leak investigation, cache codenamed Arctic Haze, suggests another startling development. Key witnesses could include former FBI agents Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, guys. During an interview with the investigative team, Strzok stated that he believed the FBI executive management told him to meet with the new investigator. Level briefing on the mid-year exam investigation. The New York Times told Strzok and Page that they had classified information. Strzok told investigators that he did not recall the New York Times having the classified information and took a break from the meeting to discuss with Strzok that alerted that the New York Times had had the classified information. Page indicated that she alerted her supervisors about the fact the New York Times had the classified information. According to the FBI OPA, the New York Times advised them in their April 10th, 2017 interview about the content of the article, including the classified information. So, Shady.
Yeah. Wow.
They're cooperating. Are they cooperating, Shady?
Who knew?
So, pesky Q-proof with the lovebirds, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. Arctic Haze suggests another startling development. Key witnesses could include former FBI agent Peter Strzok and Lisa Page directly from Catherine Herridge. Q post 8/29/2018. Post 1986. Peter Strzok, cooperating witness, power removed, House testimony. Lisa Page, cooperating witness, power removed, House testimony. Shady. There was also another one, 1288 on 4/27/2018. Focus only on the FBI for now. Jim Rabicki, Chief of Staff, Senior Counsel, fired. James Baker, General Counsel, fired. Andrew McCabe, Deputy Director, fired. James Comey, Director, fired. Bill Priestep, Head of Counterintelligence and Strzok's boss, cooperating witness, power removed. Peter Strzok, Deputy Assistant Director of the Counterintelligence, cooperating witness, power removed. Lisa Page, Attorney for the FBI's Office of the General Counseling, cooperating witness, power removed. Conspiracy? Think about the above. Only the above. Get the picture? Now, also in this Q post here, Shady Grove, it says, let me see, it's 1986. Let's actually go to QAG to actually read more of it because it's important, guys. 1986.
And it's important because the whole thing centers around these people with what I was just saying earlier, because they couldn't go to a grand jury from the FBI or send it to the DOJ and do things, quote unquote, by the book. This is what Q was doing. This is the reason for Q, was to explain to you what was really going on behind the scenes that no one could see and the media would not report even if it were to be seen.
That's right. So here it is, Shady. 8/29/2018, the full post with everything that we just get the picture updated. Updated right here. Cortan, boom, 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 cooperating witness, the whole 9 yards. And then Q says, do you notice a pattern? 5/4/2018. Bruce Orr demoted 2 times, cooperating witness, power removed, House testimony. Peter Strzok, cooperating witness, power removed, House testimony. Okay, we read all that. Bill Priest, to be called? Mike Cortan, cooperating under resigned title, to be called? Who are they cooperating with? Do you believe in coincidences? The more you know, Shady.
That's great that you brought this post up. Now look at that right there. So now this is a little bit of a, let's do just a little bit of predictive programming. Right here, what you see, these two. So now you've heard the story about Strzok and Page being cooperating with the investigation. Next on the list will probably be these next 2 people that you'll see a story that comes out somewhere about the idea that they are also cooperating. Listen, we don't need every single human being that ever served in government in prison. What we need is the people that served in government to tell the damn truth to the people that have the authority to prosecute the people that were directing the treason, the people that were directing the coup, the people that were working in tandem with the military-industrial complex to act as if they are more important than the person that the American people elect to be the president. That's what they did. They can't, there's no 2 ways about it. There's no skipping around. There's no beating around the bush. There's no pretending it didn't happen. They initiated a coup against the person that the people elected. The very idea of that goes against every single thing, every single drop of blood bled by every American to the point that happened is for naught if we let that slide. Okay,
That's right.
Because this is not a monarchy. Okay, effectively what they're telling you is that the military-industrial complex and the CIA are parliament, and they get to choose who the damn president is, and you're just going to deal with it, and we'll knock buildings down. We'll go out and we'll attack people. We'll censor people. We'll do all of these different things. We'll put a shot in you. We'll pretend like there's a pandemic. We'll pretend like there's a foreign war. All of these different things they'll pretend like to stop you from electing the person that you want to elect as the president. There is nothing more anti-America than that. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, prove me wrong. And, people are saying, Strzok needs to be, what if he's a cooperating witness? Don't you get it, guys? Do you notice the pattern? Read what Q said again, okay?
But that's what Ranklin and crew are doing. Right. This person on the target list, deep state target list. Well, they're not really a deep state target if they're cooperating. As a matter of fact, if you're out there calling Peter Strzok and Lisa Page someone on a deep state target list, and they're actually federally protected cooperating witnesses, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that logically.
And in order for arrest to happen, you have to have a grand jury indict somebody. That just happened. Where are the arrests, Shady? Well, they're starting, aren't they?
They absolutely are starting. That was an indictment of Jim Comey. And the Democrats should be over the moon for this because of what he did to Hillary Clinton. But they have a very short attention span and a lot of TDS.
Shady, I want to go ahead and do this real quick because we've got a nice sponsor here. It's called Crypto.com. Let's be clear. Cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It's here. And the latest move cements that reality in the biggest way yet. Trump Media Group just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Crypto.com, the world's top crypto platform. They're actually teaming up to scoop up $6.4 billion in CRO, the powerhouse token that fuels fast, low-fee DeFi. Staking rewards a real world perks like cash back in your spends to launch America's first CRO and the first CRO treasury. When it's done, this new company will be the biggest CRO holder out there. Do you want in on the action? Head to Crypto.com today, grab some CRO, and let's make crypto great again, Shady.
Nice. Let's do it.
Yep. This is a Trump media investment, guys, okay?
And it's very interesting, too.
Yep. It's very interesting. And Jingleheimer Schmidt, they are actually picked us out to do their advertising.
And so, so you guys understand that the way that this whole process works. Our show is now being given to advertisers. And if they would like to advertise with us, they are choosing us. Just want you guys to know that. The ads that we're reading, and also let's like to remind you that we're no longer doing our 5-minute block at the top of the hour. We've suspended that so that we can work with this and with Rumble. And there's actually a lot less ad time coming at you now.
We do take a 5-minute break sometimes, don't we?
All right, let's take one right now.
Okay, go.
Let's go.
No, don't. No! Thank you, Yeti. I love it.
On the button. Perfect.
I love our Yeti, dude. And by the way, so what Shady is saying, those are called for you, for the MG show ads, guys. And that is a Trump media investment. That's right. Mm-hmm. Choke on it.
Choke on that's not. Yeti scared him there.
Oh, Yeti. All right.
Good.
So, I want to also go to another amazing furthering of our Q proofs, guys. I mean, let me just make sure I get it here. Shady, let's watch Panic in DC. Listen to Brennan. And Brennan should be very nervous. The intelligence was in fact manipulated by Brennan.
And one thing that's interesting too is with all this that went down, Jeff, is like the idea, like they thought that they could like have this information and not give it to the person that was elected to be the president. Like people are missing that the media skips this over completely. They were getting information, and because they had this pretend case going on, they weren't relaying the information to the person that was the actual president, not the old president, the real president, the new president, which would have been Donald Trump. Well, they were eliminating information and giving it to Obama, and now they're a victim somehow. It's just very weird how these people think.
So the intelligence was in fact manipulated by Brennan as laid out in the Q proofs, and Brennan should be very nervous, which is a Q post, guys. Here we go.
From the special counsel who investigated over several years and many, many millions of dollars and man hours didn't find any reason to press charges against Jim Comey. Bill Barr, the former attorney general in Trump's first term, also pushed back mightily against Donald Trump, saying there's nothing there. So again, all of the facts that we know of right now really say that Jim Comey should not be charged. I worked very closely with Jim Comey while he was director of the FBI and I was director of CIA. Jim Comey is a man of integrity, of honesty. I had some disagreements with Jim Comey about decisions or actions he took. That is natural. But I never had any doubt whatsoever that he was fully committed to the rule of law and a commitment to uphold his oath of office, which he has done. And so from the standpoint of projection in terms of this Trump administration, putting on Jim all of these labels and these allegations that I think are really hollow, it really, again, I think is more reflective of the Trump administration overall that is going to continue to follow Donald Trump's lead as far as on this revenge tour.
Revenge tour? How about justice being served? Equal justice under the law.
But he just said revenge, Jeff. Didn't he just by saying revenge admit what he did to him?
Mm-hmm.
He did, didn't he?
Projection. Full blown, isn't it?
Well, it's also, like I said, the revenge. You can't have revenge against somebody that didn't do something to you first. You see, and so the idea that like you're saying it's a revenge tour, well, that must mean that you, logically speaking, you just admitted to doing something to him that would deserve revenge, sir.
So here it is right here. So Brennan should be very nervous. Who is mayor, former Richard Daley? Who is mayor, current Rahm Emanuel? Hussein should be very nervous. Brennan should be very nervous. Kerry should be very nervous. Merkel should be very nervous. Plus 29. How many pallets of cash divided? How many planes were used to transport? Who operated the planes? What shadow agency directed the operations? Why wasn't the money simply wire transferred? U.S. had authority to open bank-to-bank transfers. How do you prevent financial T-logs? How were the cash withdrawals in the EU categories labeled? Where did the cash originate from? What time of day did the withdrawals occur? Who provides security? Why wasn't Congress notified? Why was the U.S. government kept in the dark? U.S. laws broken? Did all planes land in the same location in the airport? I mean, look at this, guys. It's all right here.
And it all leads directly to what we're talking about.
Yeah. Wow. Nothing to see here, guys.
No, there's nothing to see here. No, we should be paying attention to things that you cannot prove.
Oh, we should we?
Yeah.
Because we're real anons.
Exactly.
Right. And I want to play this too because Pam Bondi made a scorching statement. I want you to listen to this very closely. You ready?
I am so ready and prepare.
Whether you're a former FBI director, whether you're a former head of an intel community.
What?
Well, that would be number 2, Jeff. She just told you.
Former head of an.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. She just told us who's next.
Head of an intel community, whether you are a current state or local elected official, whether you're a billionaire funding organizations to try to keep Donald Trump out of office, everything is on the table. We will investigate you and we will end the weaponization. No longer will there be a two-tier system of justice. And we are working hand in hand, Director Patel and I, Todd Blanche, with our incredible intel community, Tulsi Gabbard, John Radcliffe, going nonstop around the clock. People will be held accountable.
Wow.
So she just named names.
Yeah.
Everybody, she just named you names. Now you have 4 names. One you already know, Comey. Second one is Brennan. Third one is Soros. And the fourth one is Schiff. Okay.
And maybe McCabe,
possibly
Schiff.
McCabe, but he is a little wormy son of a gun, and I would imagine that he's going to tell everybody everything on everyone. He's one of those guys, that you didn't want in the clubhouse whenever you were a kid, because he would literally run back and tell your friends' parents everything that happened.
Yeah, and Busan is like, I got the spy out post on CNN, and boy, were they mad about that.
And people not like that.
And people are saying, Pam Bondi should do more work than go on Fox News. I want transparency. I want her to go wherever she needs to go and tell what's going on, because that's what we want, guys. Isn't that what you want?
Does anybody realize that that the only place that will play anything that she says is Fox News, and that Fox News is constantly begging for them to come on their air and speak about different events that are happening? And right now, Jim Comey was arrested, and you just had Pam Bondi come out there and tell you that she's going to get Brennan, Schiff, and Soros, and you're still not excited.
Yeah. Also, I got my messages to Donnie O'Sullivan. Speaking of that, Shady Groove.
Yeah, no, we just talk to him again.
I said it's as if this was all written down years ago. It's not like Q-proofs happen. It's every Q-proof will happen. The Q-posts are a to-do list for the presidential term, for this presidential term. And then, wow, more Q-proofs. How you been? Yet another pesky Q-proofs. They all have foundations and institutes for money, Q. And I figured he'd like this one, Shady Groove. So I sent it to him, because what was the main driver on that? Let me just go ahead and repost this so I can go back and show it to you. So I sent this to Donnie O'Sullivan. Come on, CNN. Remember Kash Yap Patel, name to remember, Shady?
I do.
Wow, pesky Q-proof with name to remember, Kash Yap Patel. President Trump thanks Kash Patel. Name to remember. Boom.
Just so happened to turn out.
That was on CNN, Shady.
Just so happened to turn out to be the FBI director who is leading the charge to do exactly what it was that we said we wanted done, which is root out corruption.
I'd like to thank Kash Patel and the outstanding members of the FBI for their brilliant work on the recent indictment of the worst FBI director in history of our country, James Dirty Cop Comey. The level of enthusiasm by the FBI was incredible, but only caused by the fact that they knew Comey for what he is and what he was, a total slime ball. Again, thank you to the FBI and specifically to those who worked on this case with U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan and the DOJ. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. President DJT, Kash Yap Patel, a name to remember. I
want you guys to understand how Trump takes the heat on these different things. So people were getting this all backwards. People are thinking that like everything's working in the reverse. Listen, this is how this is working. What Donald Trump is doing, the reason that he came out and made that post about Pam Bondi and saying to Pam Bondi that it looks like all this corruption is going on, all this nonsense is happening, why aren't you looking into this? That was not to get Pam Bondi to arrest James Comey. What that was doing was to get the media to basically, it's like whenever you're trying to draw out the enemy, okay? You're on the battlefield of the enemy and you're trying to draw out the enemy. So what are you going to do? You're going to use your political capital to spend to say, Pam Bondi, go do this. Therefore, the media comes to him. The media is coming after Trump. They're not going after Bondi. They're saying Donald Trump directed Bondi. Donald Trump directed Bondi. All the heat coming to him. Meanwhile, he's protecting his administration. You've never seen this before in the political atmosphere. Usually what they do is they utilize media stuff to take out people and have their heads chopped off. Donald Trump is doing something completely different. He's protecting his administration. He's protecting Kash Patel. He's protecting Pam Bondi. He's spending the political capital that we gave him to spend to do what it is that they need to do. And the media is going to stay focused on TDS. Keep it right here on the big orange guy. Don't look away. I'm the center of attention.
Now, Shady, I want to ask the audience a question, okay? What was the word of the day on Friday, first hour?
I'm not going to answer that.
It was actually 2 words. What was the phrase of the day, guys? Do you guys remember? What was the phrase of the day? I kept interrupting Shady and saying, no, it's bop bop. What did I say, guys? Do you guys remember?
Shady knows.
Come on, Shady knows. He's driving him nuts. The 17-second delay is driving you crazy, isn't it?
It is.
It is. All right. Come on, let's go. Let's see what you guys got.
I think Lincoln Logger is going to get
No, Jinkleheimer Schmidt. That's not that one.
Oh, Lord. We did say that, though.
We did say that. Well, no, I didn't say that. What's his name said it?
Yet he played the clip that said that. I forgot. No. Oh, Sandy.
I'll give you the
No hints. Somebody's going to get this.
Not big balls. Nope. Not I'll eat your ass, not eggs.
No. Lord have mercy. Come on. Oh, man.
DC.
Jeff.
Initials of the 2 words.
Oh, now I'm disappointed in my audience. I think I'm going to have to take it.
I know. You guys forgot that we kept saying death cult over and over and over?
They forgot it. They didn't care.
They didn't care?
No, they were doing something else.
So we were calling it a death cult over and over and over and over. And here it is, a really great, impactful book just out on democracies and death cults. I'm sure that is
a coincidence.
A coincidence, Shady.
Jingleheimer Schmidt now comes into
now death cult.
Yeah, now everybody has it. DC death cult. Yeah.
And your president posts about death cult. I'm sure these are all just little coinkydinks, right, guys?
That is an F on the quiz.
Yeah, you guys.
I've never seen this audience get an F on a quiz before.
Fail.
Wow, it's Monday. I give you that.
Like Shady was calling them. What were you calling them? You were calling them globalist people that want you dead.
Extinctionalists.
And I'm calling death cult.
Yes,
I'm saying death cult.
You were helping drive the point perfectly, and we thought that we thought that if we explained it to them exactly right, that they'd remember.
Death cult.
They didn't remember.
Death cult.
We might be doing this wrong now.
Donald J. Trump posts death cult. Wow. All right. So that was pretty cool. I fell out of my chair when I saw that.
I did too. I thought our audience would. It looks like they didn't notice.
Yeah. Wow. Sandy got it. Did she really, though?
No, she did not.
We love you guys.
She didn't get it. Nobody got it.
Come on. You guys got it.
No, they didn't.
I got it.
They didn't get it. Usually they get stuff that they would never get, but they don't get that.
Love you guys. All right, so this is, well. This is one of the biggest pesky Q proofs, and I said it's developing now because it is literally developing. On 7/18/2025, DNI Gabbard releases new evidence of the Obama administration conspiracy to subvert President Trump's 2016 victory and presidency. On 6/9/2018, Q post 1828 8 right here lays it all out. And I got this on CNN. He's like, oh, it looks very cryptic. Valerie Jarrett. I mean, come on. These are initials. Barack Hussein. HRC. That's cryptic. Yeah, right?
It's very cryptic.
Oh, my God. So cryptic.
What's an HRC?
Right. What's an FBI?
I don't know.
What's a JC and an AM?
It sounds
James Comey and Andrew McCabe?
I thought that was a grocery store. Oh, that's A and B.
What's a tarmac? That's so weird. So cryptic. All right. So we got new evidence that President Trump actually posted on this pesky PSYOP post. And I'm saying that it's, let's say that it's just public because Anons have known. Okay. And meanwhile, let me just point out that we have got all this winning going on with Q and people are stuck in other realms. Those people that are stuck in other realms can GFY, because I want to follow what's actually happening that's positive in this country. And what's happening positive in this country is Q is becoming fact, guys. News is unlocking the map. Why don't we talk about that instead of crap that we can't prove? And that's what the MG show stands for.
And it's a very good test in your own discernment, guys, to be able to stick to what it is you can prove. You read everything, you listen to everybody, but you can only know to be true what it is that you can prove.
Yeah. Real quick, 17 Patriots for Truth says initials are too cryptic for us when I said DC. Jeez. You guys are funny. I love you.
They're making excuses, man. I mean, literally, Shady's so disappointed I'm going to go down.
I know. We're going to. All right, so this is furthering the Q proof. President Trump posted this on 9/27 at 10:14 p.m. Check it out.
Fox News alert, the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, releasing a bombshell report today that shows a conspiracy by a sitting president, Barack Obama, and his intel agencies to sabotage the president-elect, Donald Trump, brainwash the electorate, and undermine the legitimacy of an election.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't.
Gabbard got her hands on a House intel report that's been locked away in a CIA vault for almost a decade. Investigators spent over 2,000 hours looking into how the Russia hoax was born, interviewing 20 CIA and FBI officials. And it turns out that the Obama administration doctored the intelligence to make it look like Putin and Trump stole the election. A month after Trump beat Hillary, Barack Obama wasn't satisfied with his intelligence reporting and ordered his CIA director to create a new assessment of how Russia interfered with the election. This was a highly unusual move. John Brennan handpicked 5 CIA analysts to write the assessment, and they were siloed. None of them knew what the other was doing. And only one.
And in intel operations, that happens a lot. They put you in silos so you are working on the same thing, but you don't know what the other is doing. This happens quite a bit. My friend who worked in intelligence was a coding guy, and they were all working in different silos, working on different pieces of code, trying to break this code. But it was very interesting. So he's right. This is what the intel agencies do. It's an MO, modus operandi.
It's kind of like what they do on social media.
Yeah. Imagine that.
One analyst was in charge of drafting this report. There was nothing routine about this, and it was a rush job to publish before Trump was sworn in. Nothing was coordinated with the other intelligence agencies either. Basically, this was home cooking for Barack Obama. There were 4 key elements from the assessment that were repeated over and over again and formed the basis of the Russia hoax and the Robert Mueller witch hunt. 1, that Vladimir Putin wanted Donald Trump to win. 2, Putin took action to help Trump win. 3, the Russians had blackmail on Trump. That was the Steele dossier. And 4, that the Russians tried colluding with the Trump campaign. None of any of this was ever true. There was no reliable intelligence to support any of these allegations. Senior CIA officials repeatedly refused to traffic in these allegations. but they were repeatedly overruled by CIA Director Brennan and FBI Director Comey, who insisted that they be pushed, even without verifiable evidence. The Obama administration cherry-picked the intelligence, lied about their sources, misquoted sources, didn't corroborate their claims, suppressed intelligence that ran counter to their narratives, and even used anonymous internet postings. Rank and file CIA admitted what they were doing violated their own tradecraft standards. There was a massive pressure campaign that came right from the top. CIA analysts say they received unusual directives from political appointees, the CIA director, and Obama himself. This is how the Russia hoax was born.
Donald Trump knows that the Russians helped him win in 2016.
Putin hated Secretary Clinton so much that the flip side of that coin was he had a clear preference for the person running against the person he hated so much.
It was Russia in a very systematic way tried to interfere in the election and to try to advance the prospects of Donald Trump being elected.
This was such a malicious disinformation campaign perpetrated on the American people that at one point, 60% of Democrats believed the Russians hacked our voting machines to help Trump win the White House. What this report actually shows is that the Russians just wanted to create chaos and undermine Americans' faith in democracy. Solid intelligence suggested that Vladimir Putin didn't care who won. He had no preference. But like most people, expected Hillary to win and had a little docket of compromising dirt on her, dirt that he never released. Now, if Putin wanted Trump to win, why didn't Putin drop the dirt?
There were high-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and that then Secretary Clinton was allegedly on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers.
Horse tranquilizers.
Then CIA Director Brennan and the intelligence community mischaracterized intelligence and relied on dubious substandard sources to create a contrived false narrative that Putin developed a quote-unquote clear preference for Trump.
Now, if Clinton was on tranquilizers like the Russians believed, why didn't they leak it to help Trump win?
How credible was the information about Hillary Clinton's power?
All I have seen is what the Intelligence Committee have reported through their investigation. I think the underlying point there is that we understand from intelligence what Russia said that they had. And the important point here is that if they were trying to influence the election, as President Obama and James Clapper and John Brennan, everybody said they were doing in order to support Donald Trump's election, they would have released the most damning of that information.
Obama and his spy chiefs knew that Putin didn't prefer Trump over Hillary, but they cooked the intelligence to make it look like he did. Obama and his intel spies knew that Putin didn't collude with Trump and that he didn't even direct his people to help Trump win. But they put it out there anyway. In a sense, Barack Obama did exactly what Putin wanted, undermined Americans' faith in free and fair elections and caused chaos in our country. Barack Obama, the CIA, and the FBI were the ones doing what our enemy wanted.
Do you believe that any of this new information implicates former President Obama in criminal behavior?
We have referred and will continue to refer all of these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implications of this.
For even former President Obama?
Correct. The evidence that we have found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment. There are multiple pieces of evidence and intelligence that confirm that fact.
Even 2 years later, after the election, Barack Obama was still pushing a hoax he knew wasn't true. And he knew it wasn't true because he helped manufacture it.
They're undermining our alliances, cozying up to Russia. What happened to the Republican Party? They're cozying up to the former head of the KGB. Actively blocking legislation that would defend our elections from Russian attack. What happened?
Now, I don't know if it's possible to indict a former president for actions he took while in office. I'm not a lawyer, proudly. But Brennan, Comey, and others may have severe liability. Trey Gowdy says we know for a fact that Brennan committed perjury when he lied to Congress.
Director Brennan, do you know who commissioned the Steele dossier?
I don't.
Do you know if the Bureau ever relied on the Steele dossier as part of any court filings, applications?
I have no awareness.
Did the CIA rely on it?
No.
Why not?
Because we didn't. It wasn't part of the corpus of intelligence information that we had. It was not in any way used as a basis for the intelligence community assessment that was done. It was not.
Well, that's a lie. Whatever happens to these guys is not revenge. It's accountability. And it's time for people to pay the price.
Yes. It's not revenge. It's accountability. Now, when Jesse says that I don't know if we can convict a sitting president with official duties, remember, Obama had a private email. That is not official duties or official business. That hasn't unlocked the map yet. But I'm betting on it does.
Well, that's interesting that you mentioned that because we've already kind of been down this road a little bit with Joe Biden, right? You know, they've already revealed that Joe Biden had a number of email accounts that weren't his main email account that he was using. So, you know, the environment has been seeded for that a little bit. But, you know, an extraordinary couple of circumstances that Jesse talks about right there. And I'd just like to ask the audience, you know, it's like, isn't it interesting that the news, people on the news, including Fox News, they can never really figure out what a crime is. Like, you know, it's like whenever we were young, the news would say, this company did this and it's criminal because of that. It's not alleged. We can prove it because it's right here. That's what the news used to be. They don't do that anymore. So how do you get rid of it? How do you do it? How do you splinter the CIA into pieces and scatter it onto the wind? The only way to do that is one way. Death by 1,000 cuts. That's the only way to do it. And that's exactly what you're seeing right here. You are seeing death by 1,000 cuts. Doesn't have to be deep. The wounds do not have to be deep. They just have to take out one person at a time. You know, you've got Comey right here. You're going to see Brennan upcoming. I think you're going to see Schiff upcoming. I think you're going to see a massive download of information to the American public about how these NGOs are currently using government-funded money to backfeed into the system and create lawlessness in your inner cities. All you got to do is arrest a few of these little Tifas, and the little Tifa is going to tell the law enforcement where it's getting its money from. And it's just like a couple of jumps up chain from whatever the organization is to the NGO, to the 501c4, to the Arabella Advisors, Soros minions.
Tifas.
Little Tifas.
Little Tifas. All right, real quick, Shady Groove, because this is a for you. Hey, football fanatics, are you ready for some primetime NFL action? Tune in to Westwood One for all the gridiron glory that you crave, from jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-changing plays. Don't miss a single moment of the excitement. Catch every snap, every tackle, and every victory on Westwood One. You can listen to the NFL on the NFL app, on the Westwood One Sports app, on westwoodonesports.com via Westwood One station streams, or by asking ALEXA to open Westwood One. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
It sure is.
It sure is, Shady. So, wow, guys, we have the court hearing for accused killer right here. We're going to play that instead of going to our 5-minute break, Shady.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, so this is the next court date will be on October 30th, but here is in Provo, Utah, Charlie Kirk's killer in court. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring it in.
Mr. Robinson, good morning to you as well. Counsel, as we begin, I have entered orders allowing the admittance of Mr. Michael Burt, Mr. Richard Novak, pro hoc vice, and appointing them along with Ms. Catherine Nestor to be Mr. Robinson's counsel. The court enters findings that the combined experience of counsel meets and exceeds the requirements of Rule 8. Counsel, do we have, what would we like to accomplish today?
I have 2 items, Judge. I just wanted to make a record that under Rule 16 of the Utah Rules of Criminal Procedure with respect to discovery, the state is required to provide to the defense within 5 days of the defense's request the discovery that we relied on in making this charging decision. We'll be prepared to do that, so we'll look for defense counsel's request or the next day or so, and we'll provide that to the defense.
Thank you.
We also, for the court's information, we met this morning with the defense team briefly in our office to talk about discovery and the process. So we'll be working together. There is a substantial amount of discovery in this case, Your Honor. It's voluminous, to say the least, and we're working on a process where we can exchange information as quickly as possible and be efficient in that process. The other item I had, Your Honor, I saw that over the weekend there was a protection order, pretrial and trial publicity order entered by Your Honor. And I just was seeking some clarification on page 2, at the end of the first paragraph. It reads, "To that end, lawyers participating in the investigation or litigation of this case shall inform all witnesses, investigators, consultants, staff members, or other members of the prosecution or defense teams that the prohibitions contained in this order." The state, we're seeking some clarification with respect to the phrase "all witnesses," Your Honor. There are a number of witnesses that have yet to be identified that will likely be used in the state's case. This occurred in front of 2,000 to 3,000 students at Utah Valley University. So we're in the process of identifying those witnesses. And so those individuals are presently unknown right now. So we're looking for a little clarification from the court. And I suppose we're not going to make any arguments today, but there may be some follow-up pleadings that we may need to file.
Thank you. Ms. Nestor, did you want to be heard about that issue?
No, Your Honor, we would defer to whatever the court wants to advise them on that matter. I mean, I think it's fairly obvious that we don't know who all the witnesses are in this case yet. I think it's just important that if anyone is identified, that they have information about this order. So I think other than that, we wouldn't weigh in on any other matter.
Thank you. Well, thank you for that question. That's an important one. The court will rule that as the witnesses become known to each side, that information is conveyed to abide by this order. Obviously, there are potentially many witnesses, and so it's not the expectation that you would be able to do that up front, but as they become known, I would ask that you would inform them of this. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing from the state, nothing else, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Nestor.
Thank you, Your Honor. We recognize that we are here today for a waiver hearing. It is not our intent to waive a preliminary hearing in this matter. We are going to be seeking that one be set. However, based largely on what the state just referred to as far as the voluminous nature of the discovery materials, we do think it would be prudent to simply reset for another conference, another waiver hearing, a little bit down the road, where we have a better idea once we start seeing the discovery as it rolls in. I do recognize we're going to be getting that first batch in 5 days, but it's my understanding from our meeting today that there is massive amounts of digital that is going to be coming, and until we can kind of get our heads around exactly what we're dealing with and how much we need to process, it's going to be difficult for us to give you a reasonable expectation of when we will be ready to do the prelims. So we're asking today that we put that decision off, and maybe we could check in 30 to 60 days and just kind of let the court know where we're at and how much we're looking at and how much time we may need to set a preliminary hearing. Also, as far as a detention hearing, we are not asking the court to address that issue at this time. Under the statute, the issue is going to come down to the question of whether there's substantial evidence, which right now we're just not in a position at all to be able to even argue to the court. So we are probably going to ask that the court delay that decision possibly until the time of the prelim. But if it's sooner, we will ask the court for a hearing. But at this time, we are not asking the court to make any decisions on that matter.
Thank you, counsel. In regards to the next hearing date, how about October 30th at 10 a.m.?
That works for the state.
So there it is. The next one is October 30th at 10 a.m. That's the next court hearing there, Shady Groove.
Wow, very interesting progress here that we're seeing. That's quite the attorney you got there, buddy.
Yeah. Wow, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of different things that are going on out there. You know, I think these people that are working the defense for him are thinking that they're going to get one over on the prosecution, and I do not think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're angling to not have a death penalty.
Yeah, they're angling for that as well. It's interesting, guys. Wow.
But you know, there's the thing is that just so you guys understand, like what's really happened. There's people in Utah that have been on death row for like 25 years.
Right.
So like you know, you get on death row, they don't really execute you. They just put you on death row, and you sit there and they feed you for the rest of your life. So you know, I'm kind of cynical about the idea that we're going to get to actually see this guy fry, but I do think that we will get a conviction in the case.
Yeah, exactly right. So Shady, it's 1:05. We are back, but we did play that during the break. I wanted to maybe read what Poussaint was laid on her heart at 3:30 in the morning by God.
I think this would be a very good lead off for this week to understand the chaos and the confusion that sort of surrounds a number of these issues.
Yeah, I mean, we got people in here saying that was an op, and whatever. You guys can believe whatever you want to believe. You can ask all the questions you want, but you're missing the point, in my opinion. And I think I want to read what Poussaint said so eloquently here.
I think that this is an amazing, and just so you guys understand, this was something that she couldn't put down whenever it was put on her heart to wake up in the middle of the night to share this with all of us. And by the way, you know, you're hearing from someone that is the heartbeat of the MG show.
And we love her. Yeah. All right, here we go. So here it is right here. I'm going to put it on screen so you guys can read along with me if you'd like to. The rabbit hole trap. Charlie Kirk's faith is the target. Don't let distractions bury it. Charlie Kirk's assassination has sparked endless noise, but look closer. His real message, a deep personal relationship with God and Jesus, is being deliberately drowned out. The wild theories, just Pied Pipers with loud flutes leading lemmings off cliffs into rabbit holes of nothing burgers. The demons are in overdrive. Furious at all of the talk of faith, let's refocus on what really matters. Pied Piper flutes. Loudest voices win clicks, not wisdom. This ties into the influencers and the accounts blasting these theories, the Pied Pipers who lead the charge. Some are ideologically driven, fully committed to derailing faith discussions, while others are in it for the 30 pieces of silver, monetizing clicks through ads, subs, or merch. Blue check mark outrage merchants see engagement spikes. Threads on Erica cover up getting 10K reposts in hours, turning tragedy into profit. But wisdom, that's sacred. Tune them out by checking profiles. Are they really sourcing from official releases, or are they just recycling memes? In Kirk's case, the loudest flutes drown out his pre-death posts on faith, like his Instagram reminder that Christ rose from the dead. This is the foundation of my faith. The result, a distracted flock missing the spiritual call while falling into division. Loud distractions are designed to scatter focus. These are the flashy, sensational claims that dominate feeds on X, Telegram, and beyond, like Mossad mics. Allegedly, Israeli intelligence rigged Kirk's microphone as a weapon. The bee cult, a bizarre twisting tying Mormon influence to some supposed revenge plot involving bees stemming from the Kirk's lighthearted honey farm mentions, or false flags insisting the whole event was staged by the government to incite division. They're loud because they're crafted for virality. Short, shocking, and shareable, but their real purpose, to scatter your mental energy. Instead of reflecting on Kirk's calls to faith, you're chasing threads that lead nowhere, dividing communities and diluting the conversation. In the days after his death on September 10th, 2025, X saw over 3 million mentions of Charlie Kirk assassination, with 70% being unverified speculation based on trend analysis. This noise isn't organic. It's amplified by the algorithms that reward outrage, creating chaos echo chambers where the facts get lost. It's like a smokescreen. While you're debating Zionist revenge, Kirk's emphasis on biblical resilience fades into the background. No substance, no truth. The nothing burger core. At the heart of every rabbit hole is the lack of verifiable evidence. It's all hype, no meat. Claims often start with leaked memos or anonymous drops that trace back to fringe forums like 4chan with zero primary sources like court documents from the Utah case. In other words, the affidavit on the shooter, Tyler Robinson's rifle, publicly available via utahcourts.gov. If it's a nothing burger, why does it persist? Because it preys on distrust. Post 2020, we've all learned to question, but without anchoring to facts like FBI reports calling it a lone actor incident. It becomes a cycle of confirmation bias. For instance, the secret Mike theory, it's racked up millions of views. Always ask, where's the docket number or body cam footage? Without it, you're feasting on empty calories that leave you hungrier for truth, but further from it. Charlie's message, the heart of it all. Charlie wasn't just a political voice. He was a beacon for spiritual truth. He preached that a genuine relationship with God through Jesus isn't about rules or rituals. It's about transformation, redemption, and living out biblical principles in everyday battles. In his TPUSA rallies and podcasts, he says things like, America needs Jesus more than policy, urging young people to seek God's grace amid cultural chaos. He highlighted how faith builds resilience, fosters community, and combats despair, drawing from scriptures like John 14:6. I am the way, the truth, and the life. That's the legacy, not the headlines, but a call to eternal truth that changes lives. Why bury it? Because it threatens the darkness. The emotional hook, why? It's their weapon. Emotion is the fuel for this confusion. It's how they keep you tumbling into rabbit holes, posting and screaming shocking plot or hidden betrayal, ignite fear, anger, or excitement, shutting down logic before you can blink. Some loud voices are 100% in on the distraction, but others, they're raking in cash from every click, turning chaos into profit, 30 pieces of silver in a digital age without reasoning. You're not just lost, you're spreading towards isolation, away from God's clarity. Spot it. If it feels urgent yet hollow, or if it's the posters cashing in, it's bait designed to keep you from the truth. The rabbit hole trap swirling conspiracies around Charlie Kirk's assassination act like a deceptive maze, pulling people away from the core truth, his faith message, and into endless unproductive speculation, louds, distractions, Mossad mics, B cults, false flags, all designed to scatter focus. No substance, zero sources. It's all nothing burger, anchored to verified truth instead. Pied Piper flutes, the loudest voices win the clicks, not wisdom. Tuning them out. Overall, the trap works because it's the perfect storm of emotion, algorithms, and opportunism, keeping you spinning in circles, away from clarity and towards confusion. Fight back and honor Charlie. Question the vibe. Discern drama from divine. Every claim or post asks, does this lead me closer to Jesus or just stir drama? Kirk modeled this discernment, hating evil, Psalm 97:10, while loving all people, as in his quote, the Jesus I worship was not a hater. Jesus was all about love for all people. If a theory feels fear-driven or profit-motivated, pivot. Compare it to Kirk's focus on eternal life over temporal plots. This fights back by reclaiming your mind, logic over emotion, faith over frenzy. Dig his words. Start with the TPUSA Faith Talk, his God in America series. Unearth the spiritual gold. Start by immersing in Kirk's teaching. Don't just skim headlines. Dive into his TPUSA Faith focused on content. For example, his God in America series, available on Turning Point USA site or YouTube archives, emphasize how faith isn't passive. America, quote, America needs Jesus more than policy, he'd say, urging a personal relationship with God for a cultural renewal. Listen to the podcast where he drew from John 14:6. I'm the way, the truth, and the life to stress redemption and grace over division. Practical tip, search X for Charlie Kirk Faith to find his old threads. Or grab his book, The MAGA Doctrine, for chapters on biblical principles in action. This honors him by living his call, seeking God's truth amid chaos, building resilience like he did. Question the vibe. Does this lead to Jesus or just drama? Lift the light. Amplify faith as the loudest voice. Share Charlie's message far and wide. Make it the counter flute. Post his words like his testimony. Quote, Jesus saved my life and I'm a sinner. Gave my life to Christ. Let us discuss on how his faith-inspired revival, as seen in his post noting millions of turning to prayer post-assassination. Honor him by acts, join, start prayer groups, or echoing his call to hate evil through love. Psalm 97:10. This just isn't remembrance, it's warfare. Lifting light starves the darkness, turning distraction into discipleship. Share Charlie's message on X or Telegram or wherever you are on social media. Let's make faith the loudest voice. The evil hates this spotlight on God. Don't fall for the flutes. How will you amplify Charlie's faith today? Share below. Let's build this from here. Please share. Souls depend on you. Wow. Well said, Poussin.
Please grab that link and share it in here in the chat, if you will. I think that we need to pause for just a moment and absorb exactly what it was you just heard and to understand the battlefield that we've all been in. There's a multitude of different things that are going on the ground whenever you're looking around for what is really going on, and to prevent yourself from falling into said rabbit holes is a must in this reality that we live in. And I'm going to explain to you very clearly how in just a very short amount of time. Thank you, Poussin. That was beautiful, and it dovetails perfectly with what it was that I would like to say to the audience today about that exact same subject. As we are seeing the relationship with Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu go on today as he is here, I think it's very important that we explain to you that there's a difference between a fact and a theory. Okay? A theory is a theory. A fact is a fact. We can literally sit here and make a theory about anything, Jeff. A theory can be anything. You can make it up out of thin air. You can come up with something, anything that your imagination can possibly desire. You can come up to it and you can posit it as a theory. That is all of our God-given rights, and God bless America for allowing that to happen, but those are not facts. And so what you have here is there's two different types of people, Jeff. I'm going to talk to you. Yeti's leaving you on here, so I'm going to talk to you. There's two different types of people. There's people that like to eat, and there's people that like to cook. And that's literally what you're seeing here. I'm a person that likes to eat. I get hungry. I like to eat. I want my meal. I want to see it in front of me. Okay? There's people that cook. They're in the kitchen. What are they doing in there? There's some people that's all they do is cook. They just sit in the kitchen and they cook. You hear it. You can hear it happening. I hear pans moving around. I hear pots and banging and things going on. I see steam coming out of here. I hear things going on. I see people going in and out of the room. There's stuff happening. Oh, I smell something. I smell things. The meal never comes. There's no meal. No meal is being prepared for you. All they are doing is cooking. Okay? That's the difference between a person who is a truther and a person who is a conspiracy theorist. The conspiracy theorists are a dime a dozen. There's literally millions of them.
Yeah.
The truthers are very, very, very unique and few and far between. And the truthers were people like Bill Cooper, the people that would cut through the BS and they would tell you the truth. And all of these people that are acting to you like, okay, I'm going to explain it to you very simply. It went from Epstein to Israel to Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk are Epstein and Israel. All the same people. They're all cooking. They've been cooking since the whole Epstein thing. That's all they're doing is they're cooking. And what they're doing is they're trying to make you think that they've got a big meal coming that's going to trick you or going to convince you to go against Donald Trump. That's the meal that they're cooking. Oh, we got it all on. It's going to be coming. You're not going to like Trump anymore. Oh, Donald Trump's working with Erica Kirk to take out Charlie. Oh Donald Trump is working with Israel to take out Charlie. We know what Israel, if you're following this show, do you know where Israel came from? Where's the Balfour Agreement? Is it not the same ancient French king's list that created the Balfour Agreement that is currently manipulating Hamas and Israel and CIA and the Mossad, the whole globalist regime that's been coming after us for 10 years? They knocked us off of YouTube. They took us off of every platform out there. They told us that we couldn't talk about them, Jeff. They said that we didn't have the right to speak to them, that they were lording over us, and you are not allowed to criticize the people that own you. That's what they told us. These same people are the people that are telling you that Donald Trump is being controlled by Israel, when in all reality, Israel is controlled by the globalists that have been fighting us tooth and nail for a decade. You've got to be able to solve problems, guys. You've got to be able to eat your meal, and you've got to be able to understand that there's things that are in front of you that are available to eat, and there's things that will never come out of the kitchen.
That's right. And Charlie Kirk President Trump just posted this video this weekend of Charlie. He spent a lot of his time in his final months of his life warning about the rise of Islam via immigration. He believed it is incompatible with Western civilization. We would be wise to heed his warning. So it couldn't be Israel, could it, Shady? If we're going to listen. You ready?
We know that Israel is at the core of what it is that is trying to stop you.
Yeah. And by the way, Antifa is using Israel to divide MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Alexis Wilkins is a Mossad agent.
Oh my God.
It's so stupid, guys.
It's so amazingly stupid.
It's so stupid.
They're in the kitchen.
We are living through Genesis 50:20 right now. What the enemy meant for evil, God will use for good. And it is a prerequisite for a explosion of Christianity and commitments for Christ. But the second part is equally as important. And that's what I also want to talk about, which is the state of our nation. Which is, praise God, God gave us a respite. Donald Trump won. Young people helped deliver it. But going even beyond that, what is the type of country that we want to live in? I want to live in a type of country where you don't have to lock your doors at night. A type of country where church attendance is going up. A type of country where people are going to get married and have children. A type of country where we are not going to have a Muslim Marxist mayor of New York City. There's something wrong with that, everybody. Now, this is where people say, Charlie, you can't say that. Let me repeat it for whatever stenographer for the media. There's something wrong when you have a Muslim Marxist mayor of New York City, our greatest city. There's something wrong with that. In fact, we don't talk enough about Islam. There is a red-green axis that is trying to suffocate this country. We talk a lot about the red, which is the Marxist. We don't talk nearly enough about the Islamist. We don't talk nearly enough about the hundreds of thousands of Muslims that we have voluntarily imported into our country that build mosques, implement Sharia law. They court. I don't know if you guys have this problem in South Carolina or not, but I'm thankfully no. But you go to Minneapolis, you even go to Dallas, you go to New York, and it will metastasize. It will spread. You know why? Because the women of the West, they get cats. The women of Muslims, they have 8 kids. Eventually, it doesn't work very well. It's just a bunch of math. The women of the West have abortions. The women of Muslims, they have entire communities they can fill. When you import one, you get 32, 10 years later, chain migration, all this nonsense. People say, but Charlie, don't you understand that the immigrants make our country better? Hold on a second. Immigration without assimilation is an invasion. And when you have millions of people coming into the country that do not learn our language, that do not learn our culture. Let me give you a great example. Any truck drivers out there? I'm sure we have a couple truck drivers. I see some hands being raised. God bless you guys. Do you know that just the other day, an illegal alien that entered in this country by the name of Harbinger Singh, one of 400,000 illegal alien refugees that Joe Biden gave commercial driver's licenses to, so 18-wheel big rigs, okay? This guy did an illegal U-turn in the middle of the day. Do you see this video? Illegal U-turn in the middle of a day on a two-way highway in Florida, goes around and kills 3 Americans. Everybody, there are 400,000 of them. They don't read English. How can you read the street signs? How can you communicate on a two-way radio? How can you talk to a police officer? How do you even know what you're carrying if you don't communicate English? You know what's happened here, everybody? We, as conservatives and Christians, we've allowed them to take our generosity for granted. They have taken advantage of us. And it is not against the individual person or, all the great sob stories that we hear or whatever. But here is the kicker. The kicker is this. We need to love the nation so much that we don't care about the insults that they throw at us. We need to care about our neighbors so much that we don't want them to die by a 18-rig semi-truck doing a U-turn in Florida and being killed by a foreign illegal alien that was given a commercial driver's license. Even beyond that, everybody. When someone is a practicing Muslim in this country, 5 times a day they are praying to another land. Imagine what that does to you. Literally, in Islam, you are pointing yourself to another nation. You're not pointing yourself to this nation. You're pointing yourself to Saudi Arabia and Mecca 5 times a day. One of the 5 pillars of Islam is to leave America and go do a Hajj into Saudi Arabia. We as Americans are being played as suckers as we import hundreds of thousands of people that do not assimilate, take our government benefits, infiltrate, spy, and metastasize. And President Donald Trump has a once-in-a-100-year opportunity to say no more, and you're all going home. We're going to take this country back and restore it once and for all. And some people will say, well, Charlie, that is hateful. That is loving to the nation. Do you know what's hateful? They're being hateful because they actually don't love America. We're simply calling out their hate, and we're meeting their hate with a nice one-way ticket back to Mogadishu. And let's talk about what the Bible says. Every time immigration comes up in the Bible, assimilation comes right alongside of it. You must learn the customs. You must learn the language. In the later book of Deuteronomy, Moses' farewell address, he says, be careful who you allow into the nation of Israel, because the foreigner can soon become your master. Boy, Zohran Mamdani becomes the mayor of New York City. The Bible is always true, everybody. It is always true. I will close with this, and I will have a great conversation with Alex McFarland. I want to encourage all of you guys to spend as much time as you can always going back to Scripture. You see, Scripture is our transcendent truth standard. Everybody lives by a transcendent truth standard. Everybody. Somebody might say, well, Charlie, I don't believe that there is any absolute truth. And you should say, what? Do you believe that? Absolutely. Everybody believes in some sort of truth. What book, what creed, what song, what person, what tradition? Where do you get your morals and your values from? We as Christians, we get it from the Word of God. And we get it from the place that built this entire civilization. From the Hellenic, which of course is the Greek, and the Hebraic, which is the Jewish scriptures that gave us, of course, the New Testament. Western civilization is this moment in time where all of us can participate in the greatest nation ever to exist in the history of the world. But as John Adams famously said, if America ceases to be a moral and religious people, it will cease to be a free people. The Constitution was simply and solely written for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate for the people of any other. It is not adequate for a people of modernism, secularism, materialism, or Mohammedism, another good word for Islam. What I'm saying, everybody, is that yes, the election of Donald Trump should give you hope and conviction. That is nothing more than scene 1, chapter 1, in what will now be a multi-decade fight against the people that have been waging a war against us these last couple of decades. But rest easy. 2 final thoughts. First of which, as I mentioned, younger people are coming our way. And the second of which, we are up against a force of darkness that in the end, we know we win. In the end, we know that light conquers darkness. We know that Christ conquers Satan. In the end, we know that good will conquer evil. However, as it says in the scriptures, Psalm 97:10, let those of you who love God, we all love God, hate evil. That is in the command form. That means you can't just sit idly by and say, Charlie, I'm not getting involved in any of this stuff because Jesus is coming next Thursday and I'm getting raptured. Really? Then wire me all your money. Oh, you don't actually believe it. You're using it as an excuse. Eschatology is fun. You could talk about it, yay, and you could pray for it. You see, some people are pre-trib, some people are post-trib. I'm pan-trib. It's all going to pan out in the end, okay? I'm on the welcoming committee, not the planning committee. I'm more what I'm doing now, more so than what I'm doing in heaven. God has a great plan for all of us. I'm sure we're going to see the activity list and we'll be blown away. Everybody, he cares about what we do here. And far too often, people get so focused on next life. I'm going to get raptured up, Charlie. It's not falling apart. It's falling together. I've heard all the one-liners, and I roll my eyes, and I say, while you are next life focused, as you should be, you have never, ever, ever could show me a scripture where God tells you not to care about this life. He calls you to care for the children, to clothe the poor, to feed the hungry. He cares you to fight the injustice, to go up against evil, to educate your children. You see, far too often we've allowed the overemphasis on end times eschatology, which I'm all for. You guys can talk about it all the time, and it's an important conversation. But never once should you allow it to make you paralyzed, afraid, or inactive. In fact, that is the enemy using scripture and contorting it. Remember, when Jesus was tempted in the garden, it wasn't that Satan. Satan did not quote Buddhism when he was talking to Jesus. He quoted scripture back to Jesus, but he changed a couple parts of it. Satan knows the Bible. He knows verses, and he'll use it against you. We as Christians are a sleeping giant. We've been too polite. Don't try to be more Christ-like than Jesus. Not once did Jesus tell you to be nice, but he did tell you to tell the truth. We should tell truth in love. We should care for those and love God and love people, but Jesus hated evil. You know why? Because Jesus conquered evil on the cross. We must know what evil is. We can only know what evil is if we know what good is, because it's transcendent above us. And if Christians wake up, if pastors go alongside, and if we go, and everyone our spheres of influence, into our churches, into our schools, into the streets, into our businesses, on social media, and we realize this nation, founded as a Christian nation, has been given a new birth of freedom by the grace of God on July 13th, when Donald Trump could have had his brains blown out. But by this couple millimeters, we have a nation and a republic. It should invigorate you and fire you up to go out from this place and to save this nation for righteous and just purposes. Thank you guys so much, and let's do some questions.
Amen, Charlie. And it almost looks like Donald Trump knows exactly what we are talking about today on this show, Shady.
Whew, wow. I mean, I'm hoping that that last segment, this last 30 minutes of the show here today has given you a little bit of an example and some food for thought, if you will, some things to chew on. I'd like to ask you if Jesus said that it's okay to look past the truth. Are you allowed to look past the truth and pretend like you didn't see it? So that
just asking questions.
So that you can continue to ask questions. Just asking for a friend. Be nice. Nobody said to be nice. Said be truthful. Be truthful. The reason that we picked up this project to do here was because we saw a need for people to be truthful about what it was that could and could not be proven in regards to information that was being put out by what we believe is the Donald Trump administration through the Information Dissemination Project known as Q. We saw that people were taking it and bastardizing it and twisting it and making it something that it wasn't. That's the reason that I started doing the Q Lounge Live, was to try to simplify the noise, to try to simplify the nonsense, to try to direct people towards some concrete truths that you could find so that you could organize your thought forms from those concrete truths to better navigate the future. Here we are 7, 8 years later, working on the same exact project today, and we are facing the exact same enemy we were facing then. The only difference is the enemy that we faced then were on 4chan, 8chan, and 8kun.
In Discord.
Now, today, Twitter looks exactly like 4chan, 8chan, and 8kun did then, which is good because you're getting an actual view of what's really going on, but it's also very, very tough to navigate.
You know, it looks like moldy bread, Shady. That's what we used to call it.
That is exactly what it is. It's all
X looks like moldy bread, bro.
It's 100% all moldy bread, man. It's hard. It was hard for me, it's hard to even look at it sometimes.
And if you're, questioning things, by all means, question. But don't attack me for saying that you can't question, because I never said that. Ever.
Yeah, no, it's just interesting the way everybody twists everything.
Oh, my God. It's crazy. It's crazy. Wow. All right. So I think we said enough on that topic. President Trump sees all the crap that you guys are doing to Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk's memory. I see it too. And I'm not really happy about it. But, you guys do what you got to do.
Well, I mean, I think that you see right there with Charlie Kirk's words what we are going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to keep fighting for the man that took a bullet for us. And that was before Charlie Kirk.
Now we have two men.
Took a bullet.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one, guys.
Unless you go read like the Rambo feed, and Charlie Kirk is, he's on the island with Michael Jackson and Elvis, and all things are good.
Right. And then there's mask replacements. Then this guy's replaced. Yeah. And I mean, my God, guys, I just can't anymore.
Just keep playing the game, guys. Go round and round.
Yep. I want to do one more Shady Groove because we can do 3 in a show. We got one more for you. Let's be clear. Cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It's here. And the latest move cements that reality in the biggest way yet. Trump Media Group just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Crypto.com, the world's top crypto platform. They're teaming up to scoop up $6.4 billion in CRO, the powerhouse token that fuels fast, low-fee DeFi, staking rewards and real-world perks like cash back on your spends, to launch America's first CRO treasury. When it's done, this new company will be the biggest CRO holder out there. You want in on the action? Head into Crypto.com today and grab some CRO. Let's make crypto great again, Shady.
Wow, guys, really thank you for the comments out here. Some people are saying they remember the first time you came on with me, Jeff, whenever we did the show, and I got a question about why the lounge isn't it ended. Well, it ended because of the pressure on Q, essentially, and the idea that we were so censored, we weren't getting any traction on anything, and it took me a long time to put one of those shows together. It was pretty intensive.
And I'm going to tell you this too, that people don't realize: the same kind of people that are attacking us today are the same people that attacked us 7 years ago. Shady.
It is. That's true.
And they did not want us together at all.
No. And they still don't, actually.
And they want our audience.
Which isn't working so well.
God bless you all. God bless you all. Whew. So that was good. Poussaint, thank you for that. I felt that it needed to be memorialized in this show because it was laid on your heart. And I tell you, it was well written. And thank you for putting that out there, guys.
The exact message that we needed to share with all of you today.
Yeah. Yeah, so many people need to hear this speech, guys. I mean, Charlie Kirk was wise beyond his years, for sure.
Yeah, and he wasn't selfish, guys. I think that's another thing, and it's like, everybody wants to like make up all these theories and different stuff. I mean, you're talking about a guy who started from nothing and built the largest community
boots
of
on the
young
ground
people that you have ever seen. And now they're saying that the charter situation with Turning Point is well over, like, I think somebody said 112,000 charters more over that the people are doing for the think about that. Think about the pressure. So effectively, effectively any university in America has been behind enemy lines for what, 100 years? I mean, it's like 100 years since they've had any real desire to teach people anything that was really going on. So we're actually readjusting the whole basis of the way that we communicate in the environment of, in all reality, the people that are 20% of the population, if they're not amplified by the news, wouldn't be controlling every single conversation on every single college campus in America. And no matter what campus you send your child to, they have to be sent in with this predicate of don't get sucked into the liberal minded woke virus. That shouldn't be the case. There should be an equal distribution of thought forms and ideas on college campuses, but conservative ideas are very, very dangerous to liberal ideas. But conservative ideas protect the family. Conservative ideas protect the nuclear family. The mom, dad, kids, house, picket fence, dog. Kids grow up, go to school, get a job, are successful. They have kids, dog, family, house, and fence. That's what we support. That cannot happen if you allow liberal anarchy to lord over your political structure. You're not going to get any picket fences, no kids, no dog, if you have liberal progressiveness as your leading way.
Yeah. Gardenum says, is there any honest site that has TPUSA videos? TPUSA. Go to their site. They have a YouTube.
They do host. They host a lot, and their YouTube channel also. A lot of stuff there.
Yeah. So, guys, we are all for the American dream. The best is yet to come. I want to move on for today because, Shady, we had an interesting post by Donald J. Trump as well in regards to CBD.
Man, you want to talk about lighten me up over the weekend and making me feel like, oh my God, there's some relief in the future for the people that have been under the brutal dictatorship of this medical establishment for 100 years. This is where the red pill and really got good for me, was whenever I could start talking to people about their health and getting people better.
Let's watch the video.
You can revolutionize senior health care. We've all heard about the major systems in our bodies, like the digestive, respiratory, nervous, and cardiovascular systems. But there's one essential system discovered in the 90s that you probably never heard of. It makes all of the other systems work smoothly with each other. Like a conductor ensuring the different sections of an orchestra all play a beautiful symphony together. This system is called the endocannabinoid system. It has been acknowledged and studied by scientists extensively with support from the National Institutes of Health. As we age, the system weakens. As a result, the different systems in our body stop working together smoothly. That's one of the reasons older adults struggle with pain, inflammation, cognitive decline, and other ailments of aging, for which doctors often prescribe dangerous and addictive pharmaceuticals. They also recommend lifestyle remedies, such as exercise, good diet, and stress management. And while all these improve the system, it is only fractionally and over a long time. But Here's the game changer. The system can be restored faster using hemp-derived CBD. When the system is restored, pain subsides, sleep is improved, and stress is reduced. When the system is restored, disease progression can slow down, and years are added to your life, as well as years spent in good health. And 20% of seniors are already using CBD today for pain, arthritis, cancer symptoms, sleep disorders, Alzheimer's, and many other ailments of aging. But doctors are not equipped to provide guidance, and there are no FDA standards for what is already in the market today. Imagine if that were the case for other medications. Older adults are suffering needlessly. Hemp-derived CBD can help them feel better, live longer, and improve their quality of life significantly.
A PricewaterhouseCoopers report estimates annual cost savings for the U.S. nearly $64 billion a year if cannabis is fully integrated into the healthcare system.
The groundbreaking 2018 Farm Bill, championed by President Trump, was the first step. Now it's time to educate doctors on the endocannabinoid system, provide Medicare coverage for CBD, and give millions of seniors the support they deserve. You will deliver the most important senior health initiative of the century, cementing your legacy and transforming aging care. Millions everywhere will thank you.
So that was the Commonwealth Project, Shady Grove. And, I went ahead and went to the commonwealthproject.org. This is it right here. Medical cannabis can revolutionize senior health care. If you want to find out more, go to commonwealthproject.org. We are not being sponsored by them, but this is the video that Donald Trump posted. They're working to prioritize the 65 plus population by integrating medical cannabis into mainstream healthcare for seniors. Our efforts are driven by philanthropic and compassionate desire to assist millions of seniors facing increasingly complex healthcare issues as they age. And boy, oh boy, Shady, dealing with my mom and, as I'm aging and we're all aging, this is something that I know you're very passionate about. So I'll give you the floor.
I'd like to say to everybody that this is a monumental moment in life that we cannot compare to anything else that's ever happened before. It's not a small statement. This is life. This is world changing, global. Think the human condition. Okay, something that's very, very important that you saw in that video was the endocannabinoid system. Okay. The medical science tries their darndest to pretend like that is a non-existent thing, that's not part of the structure. It has everything to do with what is going on with you. It has everything to do with however it is we are made, okay? I'm not here to decide what or why or how come. I'm just telling you it is. We have an endocannabinoid system. We have receptors in the human condition that understand, relate to, and are extraordinarily receptive to cannabinoids of multiple different types, not just CBD, but also THC. As a matter of fact, a lot of the people out there that don't feel like that THC has any benefit for them, CBD does. And for the people out there that are the opposite, it's the opposite. I've seen this my whole life. Part of the reason that I'm in Oregon is because of this and because of the fight to explain to people that this is an issue that has been grossly distorted. And now with the legalization of cannabis or marijuana in a number of states, they've screwed it up even more, believe it or not. You think that they can't screw things up, but they have screwed it up even more. What Donald Trump did in 2018 in 100 years will go down in history as the moment that the medical industrial complex started to die. That was in 2018 whenever he did that. What he did was he unleashed the production of hemp on America to say that hemp was not marijuana, and so therefore hemp could be produced. Out of that has come a just ungodly amount of research to show exactly how this stuff is beneficial to the human condition and what it is, the different ways that we can use it. Not just taking it orally, also applying it to your skin disorders, different things that are going on. It is so safe and effective. It's crazy. Also in the realm of suicide rates for veterans that have come back from Iraq and Afghanistan are like 60 to 70% less among veterans that utilize CBD and cannabis. So, with all of that being said, I would like to say God bless President Trump again for having the foresight to eliminate this system. The system that we're talking about, the PACER Federal Reserve System, is built off of oil. I'm going to say that again. It's built off of oil. We will have them eating our product in 100 years. That's what Rockefeller said. Every single thing that is in your world that is plastic is oil. Every single thing that is in your world that is called whatever it's called, the fake pharmaceutical, it's oil. That is what it's all derived out of. It's not medicine. It's oil. And the quicker that people get this through their thick head, the better off we're going to be, Jeff. And, I can sit here and go on about this all day, but I saw that video this weekend. I literally stopped everything I was doing and I prayed. Right. I prayed for the health of this country, because what we have seen, what we have witnessed over the last, 100 years, for them to take this away from us, for them to take away from the people and to allow them to just wither away, for our old people to, the ancient Native American old people were still riding horses the day before they died. Okay. This is not the way life is supposed to be. We're not supposed to be shoving our parents into old folks' home. What Jeff has seen occur with his mom, and to navigate that, has been unbelievable. At some of the things that could have been taken and been different had the medical system not had their hands tied with pharmaceuticals and fake drugs.
Yeah, and I think let's go ahead and play this. This is on their website, talking about it real quick. Let's watch a little bit of it. Check it out.
Thank you.
The Commonwealth Project.
I remember when you came in, diabetic retinopathy. Yep. Right? Mm-hmm. And pain.
Neuropathy, yeah.
And what were you using? Remind me when you came
Everything my mom has.
And they kept raising it and raising it. I've been on morphine for about 10 years. Then I just decided that I didn't want to take it.
Okay, and what are you currently using for helping your pain?
The cannabis. I tried it and I was amazed. I'm not taking morphine at all now.
There is very real psychopharmacology associated with cannabis, and I hadn't learned anything about that in medical school.
Status quo is either to not teach at all or maybe a lecture.
Clearly, the endocannabinoid system should be taught in medical school.
Since the Nixon administration, cannabis has been designated by law as a Schedule I substance, alongside lethal substances such as heroin.
Schedule I says there's no medical use for the substance, and it's highly addictive and dangerous.
But for decades, tens of thousands of research papers, many from top universities, hospitals, and governments around the world, including the U.S. government, have repeatedly shown cannabis to be a highly effective, safe, non-addictive intervention for a multitude of ailments, especially ailments of aging.
As I started to learn more about it, I realized it's a medication that can really be used very safely in the geriatric population.
We have cannabis here in our institute available for patients who need symptom relief. There have been effective treatments shown.
For me, the seminal piece of work was a 2017 report from the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine. They looked at, 10,000 pieces of peer research literature, ranked what we know about the use of cannabis for particular ailments, and found there is substantial conclusive evidence.
In 2023, the HHS formally recommended that cannabis be rescheduled to Schedule III.
Schedule III means that there is a medical use.
When it first became legal to provide medical cannabis in New York State, we immediately adopted policies and procedures to make it available to our residents.
Geriatric patients can be on 10 or more meds very easily, and there's such a high risk of side effects. The most impactful effect we saw was pain management. In most cases, they were able to either eliminate or significantly reduce the amount of opioids they were taking. And we didn't see any side effects. None.
Nobody can die of an overdose of cannabis.
So it's safe, it's efficacious. Good morning.
Dr. Melanie Bone is an extremely rare case of a physician who specializes in medical cannabis. Every day, she sees its successful effects with the senior population.
It does me a lot of good. 2 months ago, I stopped taking it. Oh, wow, it is hurt.
For 40 years, I always had pain from something, and now I don't have it.
She has tincture in an individually dosed syringe. That's very highly controlled.
I kept achy. When my son was a teenager and he was smoking marijuana, my husband and I went out of our minds. But now I've opened my mind.
What made you comfortable with it?
Because it helped.
It doesn't cause constipation like the pain pills. You know, it's just so much better.
The cannabis helped me sleep.
And you don't feel so dopey like you do with the Xanax.
But Dr. Bone is the exception. The vast majority of doctors know nothing about cannabis at best. In many cases, they falsely believe it's a harmful substance.
Doctors need to know the benefits that cannabis has on seniors' lives. They need to understand that it should be part of the drug regimen that they make recommendations for.
Most of the time, an older person's only source of information is a non-medically trained retail employee at a cannabis dispensary.
It's the Wild West. Consumers are left on their own.
I've talked to many physicians who say they get asked 5 times a day by their patients, "I'd like to try," and the physician says, "I think you should, but I'm of no help."
Clinicians have no guidance, so it's this void. And I think we can just do a lot better.
So now the government scientists have said there's medical uses. Why aren't we making this available to everybody?
When federally legal, the pharmaceutical industry and FDA will begin a years-long process of developing and approving new cannabis-based drugs. But older Americans shouldn't have to wait, since medically effective cannabis products in various forms are already available on the market for those who can afford the cost.
For some people, the cost is a deterrent. And so if you really want equitable access, then insurance coverage at some point is the way to go. Medicare Advantage programs can reimburse for products and services that are outside of traditional medical care. For example, gym memberships, paying for transportation, paying for medically tailored meals. I see medical cannabis in that same suite. You're working within a system and not asking for a new system to be created.
The solution lies in the payer-provider system, massive organizations that provide both health insurance and networks of hospitals and caregivers.
All these people are getting their health care through a payer-provider system or Medicare. They have your health records, they keep tremendous data, they keep actuarial data. You could use the data to improve the efficacy. You could create a safer product. You could train the caregivers.
The Commonwealth Project proposes a large-scale demonstration model in the state of Massachusetts. Major payer providers will provide guidance and education to caregivers, pay for approved cannabis therapies for people 65 and over, and record the results.
What would happen is a full suite of research, guidance to clinicians, coverage of medicinal cannabis as insurance products.
We have a patient population, and we'll define the symptoms we want to palliate, and they'll probably be pain, anxiety, and sleep to begin with. And we're going to try to alleviate those symptoms and ask the patients themselves, did we help you, and what did we learn from that?
All it's going to do is, in a structured, observed, and controlled way, validate what we already know.
My message to legislators is read the objective studies that are out there. What do the facts say? And I think the facts are pretty clear here.
We've seen the government move fast. The COVID-19 vaccine, we moved fast on that, right? It was something that was universally impacting the entire world. Well, guess what? Aging universally impacts the entire world.
All of us really need to engage in the research and provide the clinical guidance for individuals to make informed choices. To me, it's a pretty simple equation at this point.
Wow.
So, the Commonwealth Project requests that HHS allow a demonstration program in Massachusetts. Their HJ Medical Enterprises LLC. That is from the website of the video that Donald J. Trump posted about CBD, but they're also talking about THC for pain.
Absolutely. And I'd just like to pass on the, a couple of different things that people get confused about it. Like if you just eat THC, it doesn't have a psychoactive effect. There is an activation process that goes along with THC. In other words, heat activates the psychoactive effects of THC. Otherwise, it's almost non-noticeable. The amount of people that could be not taking prescribed medication and be taking THC, non-psychoactive aspect of THC, is unbelievable. The reality is you should be trying this first, and if this doesn't work, then moving on to more hard things or things that you can't, things that you need to cope with certain types of pain. But it's crazy how many people mitigate pain with THC products.
It's amazing, isn't it? So after the acetaminophen thing, I'm like, Mom, no more Tylenol. Yep. And she's not taking it. And guess what she's using instead?
A little bit of cannabis.
Little bit of cannabis.
Good.
And she had no pain, guys. So just, experiment. It's not for everybody. But I'm very encouraged that our president understands natural medicine as well. Wow, Shady.
RFK does too. And a lot of the things that he's engineering over there, we get so much stuff going on here. We can't get into the details of how much you're winning, but you're not just winning on the front of Donald Trump. You're winning on the front of Portland, Oregon. You're winning on the front of your health care. You're winning on the front of getting this crap out of your food. I think it's hilarious that all these companies are like, oh, yeah, we'll take this stuff out of your food. Doesn't it make you want to look at them and say, well, then why were you putting the stuff that was poisoned in the food to begin with? We need to be having that conversation at some point in the future.
Yeah. And guys, we need to be talking about how we're winning, not these stupid ass theories. In my opinion, talk about what you want, but stay away from me.
You don't know that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just done with all the bullshit because all this stuff is coming back to the Q community.
Of course it is. That's who they're trying to smear, dude. I mean, that's the message that they're trying to make you think that it's something other than what it was.
Oh, look, he has 17 or Q in his name or his or her name. Look at that.
Or following timestamps of Elon Musk or Marjorie Taylor Greene. Those are my favorites.
Oh, God.
General Flynn timestamp. Boy, oh, boy, that's a really good one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the one that wants to usurp Q. And we have breaking news on that with the FBI agents. Remember, it's confirmed that Flynn was an FBI source, Shady Grove.
It sure is. We're getting warmer. Is that what you're saying?
Getting warm. Yeah, I think so.
All right.
But we better not watch the MG show because they say don't question anything.
Here we go.
Here we go.
It's Monday.
It's Monday, guys. We love you very much. And you know what? God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a light in the darkness. I'd like to remind you that when you are the light in the darkness, nowhere you go will be dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
God bless you.
Should I change my name to reflect my true name? LOL. No, Q-Shaw. You're good, my brother. We love you. And God bless you all. Shady Grove, what a great show. I'm just really just everything that's coming out. I mean, look at Comey's getting indicted. That means arrest, guys. Okay?
It does.
I mean, people are not understanding, but there's a process. You can't just walk up and arrest people without a grand jury indictment in a public forum, a jury. I mean, guys, this is how it works, guys. We as Anons understand how the DOJ works and how the FBI works. Q explained it. Why are you guys acting like you don't understand?
God bless you. Clear because they're looking past the truth. That's why.
Yep. God bless you all. See you guys tomorrow.
And now, the nations of the world, brought to you by Donald Trump. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, 2, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobacco, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam, Norway and Sweden, and Iceland and Finland and Germany, now in one piece, Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey and Greece, Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman, Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq and Iran, there, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait, and Bahrain, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Portugal, France, England, Denmark, and Spain, India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, Nepal, and Bhutan, Cambodia, Malaysia, then Bangladesh, Asia, and China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia. Wow.
I love it. www.mg.show. Boom.